What are some of those new features? And I guess as a broader question, how do you see technology continuing to evolve and be used within the IDD space?
Oh, big question. I mean, I think to answer the second part first, there's so many opportunities for technology in the IDD space. I think we have kind of just started to scratch the surface when we think about smart homes and things like that to help people live more independently, maybe have a say or control over who comes in their house or not with a ring doorbell, control the temperature of their apartment through a smart thermostat. I learned recently, accidentally, that there are smart irons that turn off if you leave them on for too long
Wow.
without using it. So thankfully, that hotel had adopted them. um, but all of those things are things maybe we take for granted and we're able to put into our own homes. Alexa or Google Home or things like that that have an opportunity to help people in the IDD space as well. But those are just like getting us to maybe parity or equity with um, uh, everyone who has more control over their lives. Um, a big barrier to that, though, is still having access to internet in those homes, having access to a smartphone or a smart computer. But there are a lot of programs and funding to enable people to get Wi-Fi or LTE or whatever it is in their home in order to adopt that. But one of the barriers to it is making sure people know that there are resources out there in order to do that. There are assistive technology lending libraries. So if you think something might be useful to you in every single state, there's somewhere you can go to borrow a tool for a period of time in order to understand if it would work for you or not. And then those people often also understand the funding structures to get it to you. And then states have been allowing more or creating more ways for people to get assistive technology covered through some of the home community based service waivers, and really pushing for tech adoption in those spaces because as another friend, Brian Hart from LADD based in Ohio, he says that even if we had $1 billion more in Ohio to actually improve the human services industry or the IDD care industry, we don't have 80 more thousand DSPs coming up who will be able to provide those services. So we need to actually look to assistive technology in order to provide those services because we just don't have enough humans and human capital in order to do that. In terms of what we're doing at Awake Labs, I mean, there's so much that we can still do. Right now we have the smartwatch app, we have the mobile app, we have like some data collection in the mobile app, but there are often these like long and complex care plans and strategies that the team has put in place that maybe sit in a binder on a shelf somewhere. So putting that into the app so it's at their fingertips. So when they say or they see that there is an escalation happening, they can remember um, what works for this person, what this person wants to, how they want to receive care in that moment when they're already starting to get escalated. And then we we base it off of the biometrics that we're measuring in the moment, but there's a lot of opportunity to pull in other sources of things that we know create stress or anxiety or can affect it for sure. Like, how are you eating? How are you sleeping? How is the weather? Did you get exercise in or did you not? So, there's a lot of opportunity, I think, as well to pull in some of that information to help people um, better understand how they're feeling and when might be a good day or a bad day in order to engage in certain activities.